That's it. It is telling me that we are live. 1 second. Let me get these notes up. Is all my shit in order? Banner. Should probably add one of those. Perhaps one that says subscribe, you bastards. Now we're ready to do a little work. Well, folks, let me tell you something. If you're wondering why the tits on here are the same tits I used to promote last week, because of course, if you are a viewer of this live stream, you know that we promote the show at the top and bottom of the show with big tits every week to lure you in, to entice you to watch the show and tell your friends about it. You tell them, hey, this guy's got a show. Even if the content blows, you get big tits at the top and the bottom. That's a pretty good deal. You don't even have to pay nothing for it. Well, these are Brandy Love's tits, which I used last time. And Brandy she was kicked out of a conservative student symposium. Brandy Love, as you know, is a big conservative porn star. There's not too many of them out there. She's a big MAGA gal. And I guess there's a rift among conservatives when it comes to porn. Some see it as free speech. Some see it as smut that is destroying our children. And she was at with an organization that was not too pleased about her pornographic endeavors. So they kicked her out. So we are in solidarity. We are starting today with Brandy Love's tits up on screen. So they'll be there for a moment for you to gaze upon them. As I remind you to check out the show across social media platforms, Facebook.com/The Savage Crew, Twitter at Mike Montone, Instagram at Gary_Moyler, Moyler. What the fuck else do I have? Meatheadmedia.com is the website. I haven't done much blogging lately because I've been busy with a bunch of other shit, but there's some fun written content there. You can find the podcast everywhere: Spotify, The Savage Sack Tap, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Pocket Cast. You know, everywhere. You know where you can buy or fucking download podcasts. You're not a fucking idiot. If you were an idiot, you wouldn't be watching this show. Although maybe you are watching it because you're a fucking idiot. I don't know. I'm not too up on the audience demo. The important thing is tell your friends. It's the Savage Sack Tap. We've got great big titties on screen to start and end every episode. We bring them to you. You share them with your friends, and it makes the world a happier place. Now we're gonna start getting into it because I am feeling a little bit sluggish. I can't even pronounce my fucking words right because I'm so sluggish. Because I've been basting in the sun on the beach all day, frolicking about on a sandbar. The good news, I came out of it all with a killer tan. The better news, I do have one of my regular guests with me tonight to take a little bit of the pressure off, make things easier on me. They're teenage vandals running amok. People are giving up millions of dollars to dig into their stance on the COVID vaccine. Aliens are coming. You can keep your head on straight with a fresh episode of The Savage Sack Tap, and it starts right now.
You're listening to The Savage Sack Tap. It's not a podcast. It's not a half-cast. It's just a quick shot to the balls to help you finish off the week. We're cutting through the bullshit, filling your Friday with rage-fueled logic, and cracking a few jokes along the way. So grab a bag of frozen peas. There's a Savage Sack Tap coming your way.
Smooth, lascivious, salacious, outrageous.
Hey. Roland Perez is already checking in saying big fucking tits. Of course, a nod to Mr. Anthony Cumia and his love for big fucking tits. That is my favorite Anthony line, by the way. Anyway, the big tits going away for now. The podcasting to begin. I am Mike Montone. This, of course, is the Savage Sack Tap, coming to you live from Ship Bottom, New Jersey, Long Beach Island. And I do have a little assistance tonight. Jackie, why don't you come on out? You've seen her on the podcast before. Is my sister Jackie Montone.
Hello.
She loves drinking and talking shit as much as I love doing drugs and talking shit. It's a fine combination, and I'm glad I have you with me this evening, Jackie, because the first thing I want to talk about is should be near and dear to both of us. I don't know if you heard about the horror that unfolded at our alma mater, Glen Rock High School. Step a little, you're covered up by a palm tree. There you go.
But I appreciate you removing the big tits.
Well, yeah, that I didn't think you would appreciate that. You are
Right.
nothing if not a high class individual,
That's
and
right.
we wouldn't have such smut on the screen in your presence. Did you hear about what fucking happened after graduation at Glen Rock again this year?
Enlighten me.
That apparently it's become, we're both graduates of Glen Rock High School in Glen Rock, New Jersey, Bergen County's finest academic establishment. And every year after graduation, the past couple of years, the youngins, as it were, go out, and I guess the janitorial staff doesn't clean up the graduation setup, like the chairs and everything, until the next day, because I guess no one has fucking learned from a couple of years of this going on. And these kids just trash the fucking field. They throw the chairs all over. I believe they stole the Panther mascot from, I don't know if it was like in the sports lobby or out by the field or some shit, and they broke it this year.
Oh.
I love it. I mean, I feel bad because I know the guy who's the head of the custodians, is one of my track coaches. I feel bad that him and his guys have to deal with like cleaning the shit up because they're good people. But the fucking outrage in the town Facebook group makes me crack the fuck up.
So I do feel like they're asking for it by leaving all of these pieces of debris around for people to fuck
What do you
around
think
with.
kids are going to? Graduation it's one of those nights where even if you're not, like when I was growing up, I was a regular, problem cause. Like we would drive around throwing Slurpees at people. Joey, our brother, once nailed a bicyclist with a cup of like lukewarm soup out of the back of a van. Like these kind of things are sort of part and parcel to the teenage experience, especially in the very sheltered suburbs where there are no consequences for such behavior. So it really is. It would be like leaving, if I went to the edge of the street here and I threw a crab trap in the water and I put a chicken in it. Mm-hmm. And I expected all of the meat to still be there in the morning when I pulled the cage out.
Yeah, well, the crabs should know better.
Yeah. No, don't fuck. Like telling teenagers not to fuck with something is the most asinine thing in the world, and it's not a topic that we really need to harp on because I'm sure the four people watching right now don't give a fuck about the goings on of Glen Rock, New Jersey.
Well, I am curious what upset the rest of the town.
They're treating this like we have all these problems going in the world right now. Like apparently Asian people are just getting their asses kicked all over the city. Mm-hmm. Apparently not going too well for Jewish people either. I was riding the PATH train the other day, and it's literally every advertisement now is just an ad telling people not to commit hate crimes. It's the fucking you see like it's AAPI and then BLM and then there's like a Jewish. It's just apparently everyone is just going around looking for people different from them and beating the shit out of them. But back in the burbs, they are worried about a couple of chairs being.
It's where the real problems happen.
And my favorite part of this is when people comment on it on like the Facebook because it gets the pictures immediately get. The pictures get posted to Facebook as though there's been a mass shooting.
Yes.
Like it literally looks, it's like the aftermath of fucking Columbine. It's just a bunch of white chairs scattered on a football field.
Yeah. Well, relative to their everyday problems, this is
a Columbine.
Shooting.
This is Glen Rock's Columbine.
Yeah, precisely. Unfortunately.
They should hold like a vigil.
Yeah.
There should be a vigil held at the football field. But I'm first annoyed because it doesn't actually make the cleanup any more difficult. Mm-hmm. The chairs are still pretty much in the same place. Maybe someone throws one a couple yards, but generally speaking, picking up chairs is picking up chairs.
But if this is a recurring problem. This isn't the first year. Perhaps this is the most extreme that it's been.
This is the second year.
Year.
Well, I think they broke the Panther statue this year. It's a big thing, which no one gives a fucking shit about. Nobody has school spirit.
That's
all right?
like when your parents had those like old antique clocks, those floor ones.
That stupid one that mom and dad had.
The grandfather clock.
Yeah.
If you keep something like that around long enough, eventually a child is going to.
Did we break it at some point?
We did.
All right. Well, Joey also broke that ceramic duck that he just launched down the stairs.
Yeah, and the ceramic piggy bank.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he was trying to rob from the family vacation fund.
It's also embarrassing that the family vacation fund was being stowed in a fucking piggy bank instead of like, a nice high yield index fund.
Yeah,
but
not the most financially savvy.
No one would ever accuse us of that. Curious how the fuck they allowed you to work in corporate finance.
Yes,
but I was reading the comments and people are like, well, when they find out who did it, someone should contact their colleges so their admissions can be rescinded.
Yeah, that's a reflection on cancel culture and just telling on people.
That's such a fucking like parent thing to say. Like, we could call your college, and it's like, what kind of fucking retarded adult are you that you even think it's reasonable to tell a 17-year-old, hey, this kind of so antisocial thing you did that didn't really do any kind of bad damage. Yeah. We might reach out to someone who has no idea that this occurred at all and tell them about it in an effort to ruin the rest of your life. What do you think of that, shithead? Like, it's just such a fucking, it's just such an asinine thing to do that whenever I see stuff like that, it just infuriates me. Yeah. And I just want to, like, those are the kind of people that, like, they're out there and they're kind of, I feel like those people set the tone for society, and it pisses me off because then everyone immediately kind of goes about their day with their panties a little bit in a bunch when that type of person is the one like kind of calling the shots.
Well, you're always a little on edge that one of them's around and you just don't know who they are yet.
Yeah, like it's like just like a pearl clutching suburban mother. I mean, Mom did go through her phase. One of my favorites with Mom was always when she found out that there was a trash talk feature in Deion Sanders' primetime football for Sega Genesis. And I found on the computer, she had written a letter to the company that made the game. And by the way, the fucking game is made by like a bunch of Japanese developers who they don't speak English. They have no fucking clue. They were just told that there's a trash talk feature. This is the algorithm you're going to use to plug it in. Like, did you really think Ping sitting over in Hokkaido gives a fuck if Mary Montone is bothered by the Deion Sanders football trash talk feature? Like, it's the self-importance of these suburban parents has always driven me just a little bit insane. But.
Well, just imagine the damage she could have done to Ping had the internet been available to her during that time.
Entire country of Japan.
You're lucky it was only snail mail.
They would have, by the end of it, they would have canceled the entire Pacific Ring. I don't think she ever actually sent it. It was such a ridiculous fucking letter. But yes, I was catching up on the latest from it, and apparently they were issuing summonses, but nobody is talking. Like, they were like, oh yeah, this person was seen in the vicinity, and like no one is fessing up to anything. So good for the kids. I
respect that, yeah.
Yeah, I was good for the kids for keeping their fucking mouths shut. I just wanted to open with that, and I won't again. This is sort of inside baseball, hometown stuff. I don't want to get too bogged down in that. But from the hometown to the home team, I'm not sure if you have seen the Team USA Olympic garb yet?
No, I have not.
Well, I guess every year I don't really watch the Olympics, which I ran track, so you'd think I would give more of a shit, but it's just too much.
I do find the gymnastics entertaining.
It is.
Wild what those people can do. Yeah,
I do find it's an entertaining sport. Like if I pop the TV on and something cool is going on, then I am inclined to watch it. But
I also enjoy fencing. I think that's more of a winter Olympics. I think that's a hilarious sport to perfect to the point of Olympian
Is that status. Winter or is that summer?
Oh, I don't know. I just always saw winter because it was more indoor.
Well, my old math teacher, Mr. Bader, which is a very unfortunate name. He was a great guy, but Mr. Bader is a very unfortunate name for a man who's going to be teaching teenage boys.
Yeah, he should have focused on a different.
It's very you can really take that and run with it all over the goddamn place.
Yeah.
But he was on the Egyptian Olympic fencing team.
No kidding.
Yeah, I think he was like an alternate. I don't think he ever got to compete. But here it is. Here are the unis.
Oh yeah.
And of course, so I guess because they look very preppy, everyone's kind of making Karen jokes. And none of these jokes are particularly funny. Like they're all the exact same shit. This lady wrote, Ralph Lauren's Team USA outfits patriotically scream, "I'd like to speak to your manager." Like, okay. And she hashtagged it, "Our Olympians aren't Karens, Ralph." It's like,
who wrote this and why is she relevant?
It's just one of those fucking things where everybody on the internet hops on a trend, and there are all these kind of. So this is like really kind of deep social stuff, 2021. But anything that sort of gives the impression of white privilege, which a preppy Ralph Lauren outfit does, and at the Olympics on the world stage. And you have to remember, when you go to the Olympics, all those like loser third world countries are still there. And then when they see us parading about in our fancy Ralph Lauren duds, apparently that can make them feel bad because they're from loser countries where like, oh, you're good at soccer because it's the only sport you can play because you kick a severed pig's head around on a patch of dirt.
Because you're from your loser third world country.
Yeah, loser countries, not countries known as not America. All right, countries known as countries that can suck this American dick, bitches. I don't even know if we're good at the Olympics anymore. I think the women's team,
no idea.
the fucking women's soccer team, which I have had enough of these fucking broads. They took a fucking knee at the Olympics, which, you know, if you're a black NFL player or whatever, and you know you're making millions of dollars for a rich white dude, and you're worried about police brutality because you came from the inner city, like I totally get those guys popping a knee before a game because they're on national TV. The women's fucking soccer team needs to fuck off with all their bullshit. I am so fucking sick of these bitches. I guess they win because, I don't know, women's soccer soccer in general blows, but they're demanding more money even though no one gives a shit about their sport. Like I don't care to look deeply into it, but as it's been explained to me, the men get paid more because men's soccer is a more profitable endeavor, and everyone loses their fucking mind over it. So the women's team like took a knee and then promptly lost to like an all-white team from fucking Poland or some shit.
So you're saying you don't care about the women's pay gap?
I do not. I specifically do not give a flying fuck about the women's pay, especially in soccer. Especially in soccer. You know how many women I get paid less? I get paid less than you, a younger woman in my own family. So the women's fucking national team, they can suck my fucking balls. It's probably the first time they've ever done it. But this is all part of the larger point that everything now is viewed through this sort of lens of we don't want to look privileged. And that's like another one of these comments is every Summer Olympics, they let Ralph Lauren dress our team like they're on vacation in Newport. And Team USA wear the same damn outfit for every opening ceremony. Somebody rescue them from this WASP hell. WASP meaning white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. And like,
I mean, they were ugly outfits, definitely.
I don't find them that. I'm not that put off by them.
Because it's blue and white is a nice. I guess they're going for the red, white, and blue. Makes sense. I mean, suit jacket on women, not always the most flattering look.
That's fine, but then you could be like, okay, whatever, a pencil skirt, a sweater, a cardigan, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But this is, I mean, they look very presentable. These are nice, crisp uniforms. The only thing I can see is like maybe if you want to go with like a track, like a sweatsuit or something like that, like you know, like a Nike.
Sportier.
That would make sense to me.
But I don't care enough about this to have ever tweeted about
This
it
is
before.
not something that people like, and the whole "I'd like to speak to your manager" thing, it's just so fucking hack. And of course, the person in this tweet that we're using here, her name is at Amy O Scorpio. And guess what because on Twitter you do the at and then you can do your kind of user handle. Her handle is Amy has been vaccinated.
I would guess that.
What a fucking jerk off. Like, I don't fucking care. And that's how you know that this has nothing to do with anything other than people falling into their camps over the dumbest little issue. So I thought that was an interesting slice. Now there's this other guy. I will say, if we weren't going to do this, if we weren't going to show everyone that, yeah, we are America. Of course, we vacation in Newport because we're better than the loser countries. I'm sorry. I don't know where you vacation in Zimbabwe or in, Central America or in, Eastern Europe where we're only a few years removed from the latest ethnic cleansing. I'm sorry we don't do things your way, fucking Slobodan Milosevic. Yeah, all right. We're a little more civilized. We like a nice blazer and a nice pressed white pant. It is the summer after all. But I did appreciate from the island nation of Tonga. Let's see if I can get this guy is a fucking sauvage. That they always use this fucking guy. I guess for a couple years in a row, every time when Tonga comes out with their torchbearer, they just have like some jacked shirtless dude. Which to me,
is he a competitor or he's like
these are competitors. They have, so what they do is they do a big parade for the opening ceremony, and each country nominates a male and a female athlete. Which, by the way, we're gonna have to lose that soon because there's gonna have to be. I believe, according to Facebook, there are 50 plus gender identities. So this is going to be a much longer ceremony in the years to come. But Tonga parades out this jacked motherfucker, and he's all glistening and in sweat. And he's either, I don't know if he's here to intimidate or seduce the competition, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's effective. To me, this is the other way you can do it. You either come out better dressed than everyone, or you come out looking like you're going to beat the shit out of people, kill them, and then use their skull to drink wine out of after you celebrate the victory.
Yeah, I support the intimidation factor if you're about to compete with the rest of the world.
I would, frankly, I would like to see this guy engage in some kind of act of violence during the ceremony to really drive it home.
Yeah, that would be real authentic.
Like, it looks like he's holding, I don't know if they carry a flag or if that's the torch or whatever, because it's kind of cut off.
Yeah.
But if he bludgeoned someone with that during the ceremonies and then like flayed their body and roasted it over the Olympic flame.
Okay, so you're going full on murder.
Yo, well,
not just a little roughhousing.
No, Jackie, these are the Olympics. They come around once a year or once every 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, I guess 2 if it's because of the winter
the
or whatever. But what better way to just kind of make your presence known on the world stage than in front of an international audience on NBC or whoever covers it? Well, fucking Matt Lauer takes a break from sodomizing a coworker in his hotel room. Costas cleans the fecal matter out of his eye for a moment, and the entire world's vision settles upon you. And you're a shirtless savage from Tonga, and you go up to, what's a country that you don't like?
I'm afraid of saying anything right now.
Sure. Well, you definitely pick a white people country.
A white people country. England.
Sure. Yeah. They are a bit. They're terrible. They're pale, shitty teeth. Not really good for anything. They get that stupid old bag living in that fucking palace that we keep having to read about these assholes and their stupid ginger son. Sure. If one of these guys bludgeoned to death and roasted and feasted upon the body of someone from England. Like, no one, you don't want, obviously, because there are probably badass Brits out there. We don't want to lose one of those.
Yeah, I want to lose one of the worst ones.
Yeah, some like little shit. Like, what's a sport that sucks? It's soccer. We'll go with soccer. If this beast fucking murdered and ate a British soccer player on TV in front of Bob Costas and Matt Lauer, it would make for the greatest viewing ever.
Yeah, okay.
I would be thrilled with it.
Yeah, let's go after England.
Yeah, we kicked their ass at least once. I don't know how you count the War of 1812. I don't know if that went too well for us. But then we had to bail them out twice. Otherwise, England would be known as Germany right now. So yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah, fucking England, get your fucking shit together. But yeah, I wanted to look at that because it just. This whole thing now where anything that is even like remotely related to again, and not even to turn it into a race thing, because it's not even so much a race thing, it's almost like more of a class thing.
The lack of, it's like the Glenrock graduation of the world. You're running out of real problems.
Exactly. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah. We're it's not even that we're running out of real problems. We're just ignoring the real problems.
That's actually a valid point. I used to think we were running out of real problems, and that's because the world's gotten so much safer. But I actually think we have quite a few large problems.
Yeah, we've created in our effort to avoid real problems. Yeah. We've gone and manifested a bunch of them. I feel like we all hate each other. We have to have don't kill people of other races billboards on the fucking subway now. Yeah. That's where we've gotten ourselves.
That's not a good place.
And primarily because of the kind of people who act like fucking assholes about some Olympians wearing a fucking blazer because they want to look nice. Like, I'm sorry it's not some shithead who, like, when I ride the bus in the morning and there's a bunch of people with their sweatpants hanging down the fucking crack of their ass and they look disgusting. I will parade the team out like that next time. Yeah. Good idea. Anywho, we'll move on because we do have a great deal. And I did realize now I forgot to update the Chiron there. I remind you to subscribe at the beginning and the end of the show. There we go. Let you know it's Sack Tap Live that you're watching. What do we have? Oh, yeah. And speaking of Caucasians creating problems for themselves, this was going viral. I don't know did you see this going viral? Do you pay attention to things going viral?
I don't really know what's going on the internet in general until I talk to you.
Okay, so you're not into like TikTok and shit?
No.
Neither am I. I fucking hate TikTok.
Yeah.
It is the worst thing. If people send me TikToks, I don't watch them. I refuse. Someone sent me a TikTok. Some chick sent me a fucking TikTok once, and it was some guy talking about how hard it is to date in 2021, and I was just like, my response was like, I don't know why you sent this to me. I was like, what? There's no entertainment value to this, and it had like millions of views. And she's like, don't you think it's funny because it's true? I was like, no, I'm really ambivalent to this man's entire message.
What, did you give it a shot?
I watched. Yeah, I made it like for like a couple seconds. And I was like, oh, this is fucking stupid. But all of TikTok is fucking stupid, and I'm pretty sure a lot of it's like made up, like. When they catch people in the act, I assume it's always made up when someone ggets caught in the act now.
Oh, I assume all of social media is made up ever since I watched that influencer documentary.
Oh yeah,
where they were taking pictures of themselves with
that was great.
Seats,
yeah,
making it look like they
pretending
were on
a private jet.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fucking wild. Yeah.
So nothing is real anymore.
I do respect it if you're getting paid fuckloads of money to be an influencer and you're just conning people into thinking that you're cruising around in a private jet. I'm kind of down with that. I don't respect the idiots who think that you're living this amazing lifestyle, but I do respect people for pulling off a good con.
Okay.
Con Air. If you do it if you pretend to be on a private jet and you trick people, Con Air. Yeah, very good. But apparently, this lady's on a plane and she catches the passenger next to her fat shaming her while he's texting his girlfriend. And I get the implication being that she was like, peeking over.
Yeah, was she doing reading his text?
Yeah, she's fucking snooping. Yeah. And we'll get to that in a second. So the text exchange goes as such: "Be safe, baby. How small is it?" One of the texts asked. To which the man replied, "Too small with this fat ass next to me. LOL." The response, but we're gonna get there's more to this in a second. The response, "Ha ha ha, tell her about keto." Well, that's reasonable. Yeah, if you are a fatty, you should get on keto. And the man said, "I'll be all right. Don't think we'll make it off the ground," which is funny.
Wow.
It's a good on the spot fat joke. And by the way, what did you have something
Well, I
to
was
say?
going to say hilarious, but also, would you tell a fat stranger that they should try keto?
I mean, I wouldn't just go right up to them, but if they asked, "Hey, how's this keto?" I'd be like, "Well, it looks like you could probably use it."
Okay.
But
Fair.
the fucking airlines have had to. There've been articles out about how they've had to recalibrate all of their like measurements for whatchamacallit. Like, I guess they have. We talked about this once. They have like it's like a fuel measurement
Yes.
that they use based on how much the average flight weighs, and they've had to increase it because Americans are turning into such fat fucks.
Right. However, I think when we talked about this, they were leaving it up to the honor system for people to
report.
how much they weigh, and I'm not on board with that.
No, everyone's definitely reporting like 30 pounds less.
Like, have you seen the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where they take the private jet and he needs to get everyone's weights, and they all are lying about their weights?
Yes.
That is-
I vaguely remember that episode.
Yeah, they go to a carnival and he has the guy guessing the weights tell him everyone's weights. So
That's
I feel like
fucking
that
I gotta
would be
rewatch. I gotta get back into
great
Curb.
to have that guy standing at the front of the plane.
They should. It should be just a big fucking scale,
Yeah.
and everybody watches as you go on. And anybody who's in great shape, everyone cheers
Yeah.
for woo! Like, yeah, you're saving us money, pal. Great
Yeah.
job. Keep up the cardio. And then you
Yeah.
see some asshole getting on with a big McDonald's bag and a fucking oversized soda, and they're tipping the thing, and they're asking for a seatbelt extension, and they're getting pissed off because they have to pay for 2 seats, and they get booed.
Yeah, because the extra cost of the fuel to carry
That's
those
on
people,
them.
and it's being passed on to all
Yeah.
of us. via
This
these-
is you
tickets.
you motherfuckers want socialism. It's here. We are
Right.
we are subsidizing if you are a person in good shape in this country, you are subsidizing flights for fat people. Think about that. Like, you're really you are de-incentivizing people to be in good shape. Oh, what? Yeah, of course I'll be a fat fuck. You're gonna eat a bunch of tasty fucking candy, and then other people are gonna pay for me to fly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything costs more because of healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking suck a dick, fatties. But so the chick's name, I guess, is Landon Ewing. She's the TikToker, and she said the traveler,
fat one, or the girlfriend,
the
making
alleged
funny jokes?
the alleged fatty.
Okay.
And we're gonna get to this because she said the traveler continued to complain about her weight before adding, "If you're his wife or girlfriend and you see this, your boyfriend sucks." In full, she said, "Hello, everyone. I was just sitting in my car and remembered something that happened to me. About a month ago, I was on a plane coming back from Nashville, and I was sitting on the plane, and this guy sits next to me." First of all, that's incredibly suspect. I just remembered something.
I was going to let you finish, and then I was going to talk about that, because if this were that upsetting, she would have done this TikTok thing right after. And if you just remembered it
On the fucking spot.
Yeah, wouldn't you just be like, if you just remembered it a month later, I'd be like, "Oh, that was kind of shitty," and then move on?
Yeah, no. She would have been literally on the spot doing this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
All sorts of shit goes viral on airplanes. If you're a fucking TikToker, you know to be all over that.
Are you suspecting she's making all this up?
I don't know. There is some element of full of shit here, and I don't know if it may never have happened. I don't know if, because I get this stuff through like these websites like The Sun and the Daily Mail and whatnot, who make it a pain in the ass to run their videos. So you don't really get a good look at like how the original unfolded unless you see it going down when it happens virally. And again, as a person who thinks that TikTok fucking blows, that's just not my purview. But yeah, there is a heavy element of full of shit here. And so she says it was just me and him in the row, so we weren't sitting next to anyone. Which, by the way, again, if it's just the two of you in a row, he would have just moved his seat. The text would have been moving my seat as soon as we take off, so I don't have to sit next to this tubby cunt.
Which would have been great because everybody loves nice little space on airplanes.
Oh, I got
on the way home from Portugal.
You get your own?
One of those 5-seaters.
Got that? Yep.
Best thing ever.
Got that on. We got that on the way to Italy.
Yeah.
We got that. We were sitting next to some like Italian kids who had been visiting America, and I guess their buddies were sitting a few rows up, so they just went, hung out with their pals the entire time. It was fucking great. Yeah. And by the way, if you're going to Europe, fly Emirates. Amazing airline, reasonably priced, decent food, very, very sexy cabin staff. All around too, good looking fellas if that's what you're into. But women with fat asses dressed like they're from the Middle East in the time before it became all shitty and terroristy. You know, like that brief fucking window. But yeah, fly Emirates. It's good stuff.
Do they have a bar on there?
I believe in like their they have like I don't know if it's like a Dreamliner or whatever that big fucking thing is.
Has like an actual bar.
They have an actual first class bar. I think they have showers and what's not because it's Emirates. These are just oil rich fucking Arab like nut jobs who they're the kind of guys who like they fly high priced hookers in from the United States to hang out there for a weekend and be like a temporary harem for a few days at a time. Like they're just burning cash over there. Like, you know, in Dubai, I think they have they're using drones now to control the weather.
Oh.
Like they're using drones to affect the local weather. So if they need rain, they'll do some such fuckery and go up and do it.
This summer. I feel like they've had some rainy weekends.
I don't know. I was luxuriating on a sandbar all day while you were working. So yeah, it was bright and sunny. But yeah, so you would have gotten up. That's the other thing. Like there are holes in this story. And then she says, before anyone comes for me for looking at someone's phone when he's sitting next to me.
I'm coming for her about that.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, bitch. Everyone does it. And if you say you don't, you're lying. I don't stare at people's fucking phones. Like you might, sometimes you catch a wayward glance. If I'm scanning the room and I see a phone screen with like a giant cock on it or something like that, or like a blatant message where there's something incredibly horrifying, like intriguing being written, maybe. But this is a small sentence on someone else's screen.
Under what circumstance have you scanned the room and seen a giant cock on someone's phone?
You never know. You're out at a party and someone they're having a chat over by the by the mixers, by the club soda and whatnot. And someone's like, "Hey, I got to tell you about this picture of a giant cock I saw."
Oh yes.
And their pal's like, "You're full of it, man. I don't know what you don't. I don't believe you." And he's like, "Nah, trust me. Someone sent me this picture." And he pulls out a text of a giant cock. So it could happen.
Oh, that checks out.
Yeah. But yeah. So, but the big issue here is that when we pull up a picture of the chick who allegedly got fat shamed, this is what annoys me. And this is why I really think it's all a fucking lie. Is this it? This is the chick.
She's not fat.
Not fat.
All right. I'm calling bullshit
by any stretch of the imagination.
Right. I understand all of your suspicion now.
Because, like,
there's no way.
You would see, and I don't know if you can see what my mouse is doing on the screen. If this was a fat chick, there would be a lot more going on up in here.
Unless she photoshopped herself or she cut so much weight in a month. Maybe she went on that keto diet.
Maybe. Yeah, if this is an actual instance of fat shaming, she should be taking to TikTok to thank the guy for setting her off on her weight loss journey. She looks fantastic. I wonder if this is like one of the things where this happens on Bumble from time to time. You show up and there's an extra 20 pounds of neck sitting in front of you.
Yeah, they've really mastered the angles.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's fucking horrific. Yeah, that should be a jailable offense.
So how did people? Yes, I agreed. Absolutely, you shouldn't be able to lie. You should not. And I don't understand what is your end game when you do that?
Yeah. Well, because they know they're gonna meet the guy at a bar, and he's gonna get a little boozed up, and then once you're there. So all right, we may as well get to cracking.
But isn't that, it must be so devastating
Oh,
to see
it
the look
is.
on their face when you walk in
Oh.
and you've lied about your appearance?
No, I mean, some of them are good. Sometimes you don't realize it until a gut pours out of a fucking pair of Spanx.
Yeah, we've talked about the lie of Spanx.
Oh my God, yeah, it is
Yeah.
bad. Or like even like sometimes even like a shirt can do it. Like it is amazing what kind of treachery.
Yeah, the amount of accessories that women can put on themselves, and not even the ones to just suck in fat. The hair extensions, the fake eyelashes,
Yeah.
the highlighter, changing the look of their bone structure. Guys are fucked. It's a dangerous world out there.
Dudes will just show up ugly.
Yeah, which is the right.
Dudes will just be like,
This is
I'm Carl, and this is my personality and terrible face.
Yes.
That's at least they're playing the game honest.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. There's nothing like going back to an apartment and watching a 7.5 turn into a 4 over the course of 30 seconds. The point being, this chick does not, this is no one is calling her out on this. Like, there are people in the comments like, you're beautiful, how could he do this? Like,
that would be my next. Yeah, that's my next question, was about the comments. I would think someone would just be like, huh? Like,
no, because fucking social media now, if you portray yourself as a victim of any kind, people are just so ready to jump on and be like rush to the aid of a victim that there's no critical thinking is going into this. No one's investigating.
Yeah.
No one's going to be like, wait a minute, how is this clearly not fat chick getting fat shamed on an airplane that had extra seats available in the row?
It is so nice of you to refer to that as critical thinking. That would have required them to connect the dots on this story.
That's what it is.
It should have just been, you're not an idiot.
But remember that bullshit in school where like you would have to read a passage from like To Kill a Mockingbird or whatever, and you didn't just answer the question about what Atticus Finch or whatever the fuck the guy's name was doing. You had to read and extrapolate and kind of, this sort of build upon it and say what's really going on here.
That is truly critical thinking.
Yeah, that's what people need to apply when some fucking skinny bitch says she was fat shamed on a flight that was not fully booked.
Yes, pardon the pun, but they are on autopilot, as you're saying.
Literally. An airline
See,
pun.
We could both make puns.
Way to
You had your Con Air pun.
I did.
have
Con Air.
autopilot.
Cyrus the Virus.
And
have you ever seen that movie? It's a fantastic movie.
I know.
Con Air. Oh, Nicolas Cage. It's a great flick.
All right, I'll put it on the list.
Sit down and watch yourself some Con Air. So I know you're not a football fan, and this on the surface may mean nothing to you. Rick Dennison out as Minnesota Vikings assistant after refusing COVID vaccine, sources say. But it did strike me as sort of indicative of where we are with the whole like culture war in this country, that like this guy is so dug into his position, and he's 63. So he does fall into the high risk, like even if you're a little bit leery of the vaccine, like you're probably going to go get it just to be sure. He's turning down fucking NFL money. The NFL, if you are a scrub player on the practice squad, the league minimum is $300,000. I don't know how it applies to coaches, but you can do quite well for yourself as a coach in the NFL financially. And he is, I guess he's been removed from the team. I guess the league has rules in place that they're trying to get everyone vaccinated so they don't have to cancel games or whatever this season and move shit around. Like last year was a clusterfuck. They were like moving games by days. There's a whole pain in the ass. this guy's giving up that much money just because he has taken his side in the current cultural dispute.
Yeah, well, we were discussing this on the way down here this morning about how people, they're just, the way it's been approached, that everyone is, you're just getting it shoved down your throat that you have to get vaccinated, that people have just taken such polarizing points of view on it, when if everything just had been presented like we were all adults and we could all make a decision for ourselves, I bet this guy would have just gotten a vaccination.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if this was treated like the flu shot, this guy would have got. He probably would have gotten it. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is a good idea for me. I'm of that age. I should do this." But people are being complete fucking like jerk offs about what your stance on how best to deal with coronavirus is, and it shifts based on which team is doing what. Like, you remember when Trump was like, Operation Warp Speed, we are going to have a vaccine, working very hard. We're going to have a vaccine. And then the everyone was like, oh, I will never take a vaccine developed under the Trump White House. And now those people are fucking screaming at anyone who doesn't have a vax. And the other people who were like, yeah, MAGA, warp speed, baby, are like, oh, fuck you. There's a 5G chip in that thing. Fucking China's going to steal our information. Like, well, it's hilarious.
We don't want that, Mike.
Ask China.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the vaccine came out, what, a month, 2 months into Biden's administration, which means it was developed under Trump.
Yeah, and people
just
are
marketed under Biden.
People are treating it like it's fucking Biden's thing, which is hilarious. Like, this is one of those situations where, like, no matter, just put your fucking, like, it's very hard, like, political, like, people to put their political shit aside. Put whatever your view is aside and just look at that, and you have to, that has to be such like a black and white example of how fucking stupid everything has gotten. And if you present that to people, they will just give you whatever circular logic. They'll be like, well, no, because. It's like, all right.
And you can bring them to tears over the topic, I'm sure.
Oh, I would love to bring someone to tears.
I bet you could do it.
I would like to, accept that. I don't feel strongly enough about any of this shit to engage in the kind of, like, you know, like those political arguments people get into where there's like 4 other people around them and they're just going at it and everyone's just kind of sitting there like.
Yeah, I do love one of those. I love when just like a random person at a party gets very upset about politics.
Animated.
Yeah.
It's
very fun to watch.
How do you come back from that conversation too afterwards? Because like first of all, it never ends because the one person they'll be like, all right, well, let's just agree to disagree. Even though Trump's a piece of shit, or like, it'll be like, let's just agree to disagree. Even though Kamala Harris is a fucking cop who's never been to the board, whatever, like, they'll throw in that last line and it'll just fucking
stick it in there.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
How the fuck, like, if you're at a gathering or whatever and you're getting into a heated debate over by the fucking bowl of goldfish, like, how do you mingle the rest of the evening and go like, hey, Carl, good to see you. Been a while. How you been? And it's like, dude, I just saw you near tears over by a bowl of snack crackers because of an argument about the rich people who run this country and tell us how to run our lives. Like, it's really, really, I don't understand. I don't understand putting that energy out into the world. Like, I don't want any part of my evening or my social interaction to involve that, like, just fucking cringy energy.
I agree, but I would like to eat some goldfish and witness somebody else do that.
Oh yeah, watching it literally. There's a reason they call it a train wreck or a car crash or whatever, because you never want to be in one of those yourself. But if you're driving down, we're going to be driving back up the Parkway on Sunday. I don't want to get into a high speed collision. But if we drive past a high speed collision, everyone's craning their neck.
Exactly.
Of course, everyone loves a little carnage.
Eating their goldfish, watching the train wreck.
Yeah. Although I probably go for an almond.
Yeah, keto.
Yeah, you try goldfish. While everyone does love the fishes because they are so delicious, they are not exactly ab friendly.
No,
They're very
for sure
high
not.
in carbohydrates and probably a lot of other additives. Go for a nice. If you're looking for a nice snack, you can pop by the handful. You get, I think it's who's that company that makes those almonds that are like dusted in flavoring? It's
Oh,
like
those,
Diamond or something like
yeah,
that.
those are delicious, but tricky to eat at work. I used to have them as a
You
snack, and
get
they
that
just
shit
get
all over your
everywhere.
fingers,
Yeah.
and then you got to be the guy who's licking
Yeah,
his
yeah. You don't want to be
fingers
that
and going to the
touching
keyboard.
the keyboard and the mouse.
But it's also awkward if you make like eye contact with someone while you're licking your
Yeah.
fingers, because then we've gone beyond almonds and we're dealing with a different kind of nut altogether. But yeah, I did find it very funny that this guy is literally. I mean, people dream their entire lives of coaching in the NFL, and this guy just fucking gives it up because he's like, yeah, I'm fucking vax pussies. So I enjoyed that. And we will wrap it up because we're approaching. We got about 10 minutes of airtime left here. And sort of apropos that we're doing this story down here at LBI, where we are wont to spend Memorial Day weekend. Of course, very important weekend in the Montone family, the birth of my parents' firstborn son, their best offspring, me. There's a prediction, and again, I believe this occurred via TikTok. It's so I guess it's like a text video the guy put together where it's just different messages, like little paragraphs or sentences flashing up on the screen, claiming to be, and again, scoff if you must, but we take all of these claims seriously here, claiming to be a time traveler who's letting us know that by next Memorial Day weekend, we will have had our first face-to-face counter with aliens.
Huh.
It says aliens will make their first appearance on Earth next year. The exact date they are first sighted is May 24th, 2022. Do you have your phone on you to see?
It's over there.
Well, I mean, you don't have to go too far. Oh, let me hand it to you because I want to see if that. I really hope this doesn't blow the weekend.
I'm gonna pull up the calendar.
And I think it does because Memorial Day usually comes as one of the last
May
days of May. So I think this feels like the week leading up to Memorial Day.
Unfortunately, it's not gonna fall on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a Tuesday.
I want to give
Tuesday.
so that'll be so that's going to be the Tuesday prior to Memorial Day weekend. That's going to fuck up the start to. It was shitty when it rained the past couple years for Memorial Day weekend, and now we're going to have to deal with a bunch of fucking cocksucking aliens coming down to enslave us.
What year did this guy come back from?
Well, he says it happened in 2022.
You think he's from 2022, or you think he's from even a few years past that, but he came back just really wanted to tell us about that event?
Yeah, that's because, well, I don't think he came from 2022, just because to have come from 2022, we will have had to, in addition to having aliens land by then, we also would have had to create time travel.
Yeah.
By then. So probably, I guess, maybe further along after whatever unfolds, and he's coming back to give us a sort of a Stewie Griffin thing.
Yeah.
Um,
it would also be kind of unimpressive if for time travel you just kind of went a year forward.
Yeah.
Or I got,
yeah, it's good. Oh, I mean, it depends what you're using the time travel for. If you're using it to make some sort of like short-term gain that is going to like catapult you in some way, then of course, yeah, I would use that.
Just 1 year.
I would use that all the time. But yeah, if we're just doing it for a little bit of sort of time tourism, I would. Yeah, you're gonna want to go back to like we would go watch the Battle of Gettysburg.
Or
whatever.
Forward to just see.
Yeah, to see what you're
what
gonna miss when you croak. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, yeah. Think if they could have warned everyone about letting women vote and drive.
They didn't get us, ladies.
Well, time travel is apparently coming, so we will right that wrong. Don't you worry. Anyway, his message continues. From my time, there are many different aliens, and they actually live on Earth as citizens in the future. It feels like he kind of stole that from the plot of Men in Black.
That'd actually be hilarious.
The time traveler claims the mythical creatures are called Nyrons and will come in peace. According to his prediction, the U.S. will attack the aliens, starting an interdimensional war. See, that part's not too unbelievable. I could absolutely see a bunch of, depending on what the aliens look like, either a bunch of good old boys with like AR-15s and Hawaiian shirts ready to duke it out with the aliens, or conversely, a bunch of people like our friend, the Dit girl up there in the Pacific Northwest, dressed in all black with like Molotov. If the aliens show up looking like straight white males, you're gonna get a bunch of Antifa is gonna show up with like bike chains, and they're gonna throw Molotov cocktails at the spaceship.
You think it'll be the next anti-hate crime billboard you'll see on the path? Is about
don't attack aliens.
Yes.
That would be like the aliens. They look down and they're like, "All right, well, it looks like the straight white males are still kind of running the show. Like, even after 4 years of hating straight white males, they elected another straight white male. So those guys are a lock."
Yeah.
And the aliens just, they show up in they morph the spaceship to look like a gas guzzling pickup truck, and it's got like Blue Lives Matter stickers and shit all over it. And they're like, yeah, these Earthlings are gonna fucking love us. Like, this is perfect. And out of nowhere, just a bunch of shitheads who teach sociology at a community college in Spokane show up with Molotov cocktails and bike chains and start beating the shit out of it. And it sets off an intergalactic war. That would be pretty fucking hilarious. It's been shared 90,000 times with more than 2,300 likes. One TikTok user, and I want to know where this motherfucker was when old Fatty McFlatass was pretending to be fat shamed on the flight. One TikTok user posted, "Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof."
Fatty.
Yeah, that would have really come in handy.
We demand some proof.
When that chick was lying about being fat shamed.
I care more about the proof on the fatty than I do about the aliens.
Yeah, like she should have to hold up like a pair of her dirty undies that show how big they are and all of the stains on the back from her fast food farts.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
And a discreetly taken photograph of the text messages that the guy was sending. Then I will believe that she was fat shamed.
No, I don't want to see that. I prefer one of those Jared Subway photos.
But then she would just be skinny.
Well, we know she's skinny.
But if she
lost the weight for the keto diet.
But she's got to prove that she's fat.
Was fat. It was a month ago.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of change can happen in a month. That's fair. A second asked, "So if you are a time traveler, why are you coming back here to tell us? Wouldn't you telling us change the future? All it takes is one small detail." Well, that seems like the point, right?
Yeah.
Come back, heads up. Don't attack the aliens who show up with the Blue Lives Matter flag.
Yes, we learned the lesson.
Yeah, because we paid attention when we were doing To Kill a Mockingbird in English class.
Think critically, TikTok.
TikTok users were left fascinated by the wild assertions and started asking several questions. The time traveler doesn't believe humans will win the first interdimensional war, and says people can rent superpowers. So if we lose the first interdimensional war, aren't we just done?
Yeah.
How do you bounce back from that?
You don't.
Like, do you know how long it takes fucking forever, like, to rebuild a country after one of our shitty conventional wars where we use, like, regular old earth bullets and what have you? If a bunch of fucking, dick swinging aliens come down and start blasting everybody with space lasers, we're not coming back from that.
No, which makes me suspicious of this guy now.
Yeah, his claims do feel a tad dubious. Yeah. It comes just days after another TikTok time traveler predicted the world's biggest earthquake will hit California in 3 years' time. Do everyone a favor. wipe out some Californians.
Yeah. How many time traveling TikTokers are there? There was 2?
Yeah,
They say another? Like this is a...
I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know what's going on. It's very hard for us to tell because we don't know what's going on in the future that's motivating people to come back. Like when Facebook first started, there was MySpace, and MySpace is very popular. But Facebook sort of unseated MySpace too. As much as people talk shit about Facebook, Facebook remains the sort of granddaddy of all social media platforms. Yeah. Is it possible that somehow TikTok in the future unseats Facebook as the main social media platform? And in that case, then there would be a lot of TikTok users doing, and then when time travel becomes a possibility, it's only natural that the time travelers are TikTok users as well.
It's a reasonable hypothesis.
Okay, well, hopefully we're alive to see it all come to
or we get the opportunity to time travel.
Well, this guy claims the largest creature in the world will be discovered. So that's cool. They don't really elaborate on that. Oh, wait, here we go.
Yeah.
According to his offbeat predictions, the first of 2 events we should supposedly brace ourselves for is the apparent discovery of the serene croin monster next year. The clip shows a picture of under the sea and is paired with the caption, 2022, the largest creature ever, the serene croin is discovered. It's not made clear where this monster will be found, nor what sort of creature it was. Yeah, I don't... Do you think there's... I mean, we'll just wrap on that. Do you think there is, like, some other fucking massive gargantuan creature, like, out there to be fun? Depths of the ocean.
We're talking about planet Earth.
Yeah. Or do you think we got everything?
I don't know, because I used to think aliens didn't exist, and now I'm kind of like...
I mean, these guys made a very compelling argument.
How could I refute? I feel like we must have found all of the big ones.
Yeah.
How could like just one big one have escaped?
Yeah, and because I will say this, if you read about how places like Australia, Africa, and the North American continent were like populated by people, thousands and thousands of years ago, then these were people walking around with like fucking spears and like shitty homemade fucking sandals on their feet. There was what's called megafauna all over the place, which megafauna is just big ass animals. So like there were woolly mammoths all over North America, and a bunch of assholes with spears hunted these fucking things to extinction. So I have to think that with our modern technology and as good a job as we're doing destroying the rainforests and every other...
Doing a fine job.
We are doing a great job destroying anywhere that anything could live. Yeah. So I find it very, very hard to believe that there's much else out there.
Yeah.
And the only place would be like the depths of the ocean. And
I think once you get down there, I feel like
there's not enough light.
Yeah, you just get a bunch of like weirdo fish.
They're all small and ugly because photosynthesis doesn't occur down there. So there's no food for the smaller animals can't get big enough to sustain really big ones. So that's why the bigger fish tend to be up higher, I believe. I'm not a marine biologist, so that could be a very flawed reasoning, but
I bought it.
We'll go with it. We'll go with it to wrap it up.
Good without a tan.
That's true. Well, how good in bronze do I look?
Look in bronze. I'm working on it too.
I am going, now that we're wrapping up, to bring Brandy Love's big tits back on screen. So you may want to step away. You may want to take your leave of us.
I'm going to step away.
Thank you very much, Jackie Montone, for
joining
us on the Savage Sack Tap. I'm going to, I have a steak to prepare shortly. Oh, yeah. But before I do that, before I feast on a nice big New York strip steak, why don't you folks feast on Brandy Love's big ass titties? And I'll see what's happening in the comment section. Oh, someone did ask you if you would like. Someone said, "Hey, my lady Montone, you want to go out and get a bouillabaisse?"
I'd love to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Will you be telling your fiance about the offer you received for bouillabaisse?
No, I want free bouillabaisse.
That's true. And you don't know this guy with a very random username could be better looking than your fiance.
Yeah, I still have 2 months to make a different decision.
Yeah. So we'll keep the bouillabaisse and other dining offers coming because it does seem she is receptive to them, fellas.
Quite receptive.
And Roland Perez, who is not Roland Campos, but I will pretend speaks like Roland Campos nonetheless, says, I bet Travis has TikTok. Thank you, Roland, for always tuning in and commenting. Roland is one of our regular viewers here at the Sack Tap. And thank you to everybody who, if you're spending part of your Friday night watching me do a rinky-dink live stream from my parents' basement here down the shore, you have no idea how much I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much that I do put a huge set of tits up on the screen at the start and end of every episode. And again, this week we are again going with Brandy Love. She's one of my a MILF legend, one of my favorite adult film stars, and we're doing it in solidarity for her getting kicked out of the. I don't know if it was. I should have had this available. It was like Turning Point USA, so it was some young conservatives organization, but neither here nor there. Tell your friends. Facebook.com/The Savage Crew. Mike Montone on YouTube, Instagram at Gary_Moyler, MOYLER, Twitter at Mike Montone, and of course the podcast available wherever podcasts are downloaded. iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, all of the platforms. And again, if it's not somewhere that you like to download podcasts, just let me know. Drop me a comment on Twitter or whatever, and I will submit the RSS feed. It's a very easy fix. But yes, thank you for being here. Tell your friends. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next time. Get out there and work on those tans, fellas.